Make sure we record for today. Again, February 18th, 2025. And today we have the Blue Healers coming in, as well as the potential to see a circle of 12. They have not disclosed their information where they're from. So when I have that information, I'll pass it on to you, of course. And also a group of other healers. They are violet in color. So that means we're starting to fill in the spectrum, I think, of the entire rainbow, which will be really interesting. Again, thank you all for being here. Questions have been submitted. They will be read by Lori. I'm going to unmute her right now. Let's see.
Hello, thank
Lori.
you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Lori. And if you have any additional questions, you can certainly put them in the chat. If you have submitted a question and the healers ask for a clarification, please put that clarification in the chat. So be on the ready with your chat open if you have submitted a question this week to make sure that if they ask for clarification, you can put it in there for Lori to read. Please do not turn on your cameras. Please leave those off for today. And also do not unmute yourself. We'd like to keep the space as closed and as quiet as possible so that the healer's messages can come through with the fewest distractions possible. Thank you again. And I will tap in. Please close your eyes. We will start with a breath work. So close your eyes and focus on your natural breathing. We will begin today's breath work with the standard heart breath. I will describe it in directions and then I'll count to 3. We'll begin the heart breath. We will do it largely silently to ourselves. And during that time, I will tap into the healers. So the directions are as follows. You will breathe in 1 breath and out 1 breath. On the in breath, you will pull the energy in through the 6th and 5th energy centers. Some of you know these as chakras. The 6th and 5th energy centers, you will pull the energy into the heart. At the heart center, you will expand to the top of your in breath. From there, you will release the energy and your breath at the same time. Your breath will release out the front of the 4th energy center, thus the heart chakra. It will circle around your arms to the back of the heart chakra, the heart energy center, the 4th energy center. The energy will rise up back into the spine all the way up to 8. So in 1 breath to 4, from 5 and 6, out from 4 in the front to 4 in the back, and up through the spine to 8. We'll begin on 3. You will do 10 breath cycles. I will get you started with the first 2, and then you will do the rest yourself. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4. Release and circle from front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4. Release and circle from front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4. Release from front to back and up to 8. Please continue the same breath cycle, 8 rounds on your own. Please resume natural breathing, scanning your body with your eyes closed. Seek out any areas in your body where you may feel slight tension. And just notice, following this channeling, we will do an additional breath where we will release any energies that are still existing in your body at that time. We will begin with your first question, please. You may open your eyes.
Hello, thank you. First question. When I work in my osteopathy practice and the blue healers are there, there's the frequency of wholeness. But while treating the body, I also feel a more specific frequency connected to the body part or structure that needs healing, maybe like a blueprint or perfect health frequency of that body part. Can you tell me more about this?
Yes, thank you for this wonderful question. Your experience as a human healer on your planet has very strict guidelines based on your education and the oath you make as a physician. The importance for you when participating with energetic frequencies in your practice is to find within yourself the coherence between the oath you have made to your human world of medicine and to the energy world that you are now drawing in. These practices are compatible. However, there is a belief practice within you at this time, meaning an agreement or a contract that you have made that separates these two energies. When you are able to, through some sort of a ceremony or a simple internal agreement with yourself, to bring these two energies into coherence by essentially breaking that contract and revising it to include energy components. Which also means that you will not in any way be violating your contract in the human world, the human realm. You will continue to follow that explicitly as it is stated. You will find that the energies that you are seeing as being separate will join together in a way that will allow you to tap into the energetic frequency of health for not only individual organs, individual conditions, but also as the body as a whole. Because you are tapping into the organs individually, the areas of dissonance in the body of your patients individually, you are accepting that there is some separate nature to it. While that may be true on a very basic level, in the world of healing and energy, such as we see it, the entire body and its energy field surrounding needs to be in coherence, period. That means that you may sense a feeling for an individual organ in an unhealthy state and also in a healthy state. Aligning those energies first would be prudent for the health of the entire organism. However, take it one step further and tap into the healing of the entire organism. There is always an underlying situation when there is disease in one part of the body or in the mind. That means that the entire energy field of the human organism is not in full and complete coherence. As you bring yourself into full and complete coherence, and if it is a is an interest within you to ask other healers to be with you, you say you are working with us, and that is a wonderful thing to do to ask your fifth dimensional connections, there are also other fifth dimensional beings who may have information that assists you in healing. So widen the circle, collaborate with these energies, step back for a moment from your 3D existence, allow yourself to step into a 5D reality, meaning you may call it the quantum field. Allow yourself to be in alignment with the 5D energies, and you will find that in collaboration with the healers you call in, you can step back from your patient knowing that it is not you doing the work. You are simply inviting in a frequency of health, of coherence for your patient, which will allow them to in turn heal themselves. If you need additional clarification, please ask this question again, and we will move on to the next question for now.
Thank you. Next question. Aja refers to spontaneous energy body movements as a Kundalini awakening. She says that previously you explained it is releasing space for new frequencies. And the question is, should anything be done with it? Should it be directed, or is it best to simply allow it to happen?
There are myriad contexts for the answer for this question. This question, we believe you are asking specific to yourself. And what do you do with the energy that releases? There is no need to direct this energy if you are in a context of healing yourself, meaning you are doing meditation for your own vibrational frequency, for your own coherence, for your own experiences. We also would like to remind you that you are either awakened or you are not awakened. If you are continually having awakenings, know that there is only one awakening for which you have more experiences of awareness of what that awakening means. You are awake. In our perspective, we recommend that you stop trying to tell yourself that you need to awaken. You are already awake if you have had one awakening experience. Simply begin to become aware of energy patterns in your body, habits that you have in your world that are not aligned with your awakened nature. That is your birthright as a starseed human hybrid. If you are a healer of any kind, if you are working in groups, you may find that whatever this release is in your energy field is something that is either helpful or not helpful to those around you. Be mindful of and responsible of the energies that you, with awareness, release into your surroundings. So, if you are a medical professional, if you are a healer, if you work with individuals in any context, including parenting, including love relationships, including friendships, you are having these release experiences, simply ask and guide these energies into a place of the quantum field. This is why we introduce breathwork to you, whereby your energy goes in from 9 to 0, back from 0 to 9. It is connecting the quantum field beneath you and the quantum field above you so that it travels through your central nervous system, meaning the quantum field space that is within the torus of your nervous system. And it allows for responsible release of energies into the unknown or into universal energies in 8 that allow you to remain free from these energies, but simultaneously preventing your energies from deliberately being shared with those around you. So just be mindful and responsible for your own energies without needing to control any of it. The moment you are trying to do something, you are trying to express yourself in a certain type of way, you are already in the way of your own energy coherence and the coherence of others. Simply be mindful of relaxing your body, relaxing the tension in your body, relaxing the energy release into a pure expression of breath, both in and out, and you will be doing the right thing. It is when humans use their minds, when humans use their intention, when humans try to heal others, try to heal themselves, instead of relaxing into the healing, coherence, health, and freedom that already exists within, that things begin to go haywire. Allow yourselves to simply relax into the breathing. Relax into the understanding of your awareness, your awakened nature, and everything that you desire will be in you and emerge from you the most easily. Your next question, please.
Derek would like to know if the blue healers continue to be with him.
We are with all of you at all times. Derek, your situation in your body is releasing. It is important for you to gather in groups of other individuals in your meditation process, in your breathwork process, and continue to, with your intention, simply relax into any part of your body, any part of your breath, any part of your mind that allows you to sink into the healing energies around you. Oh, we have assistance for you at this time. If you all will close your eyes, we have another group of healers who are what you may call purple or violet in color. It is your time as a collective to come together for Derek specifically. Please close your eyes and tap into the frequency of your own individual breath. Here you are most powerfully connected to our energetic frequency. With your intention, please circle yourselves in your mind around Derek, please, at this time. As individuals, focus on your own breath. We will guide you through a breathwork practice that will allow you to release your energies so that you can benefit Derek most completely at this time. As an individual in this circle surrounding Derek, you are all facing inward. You are in your mind's eye seated, and beneath you is your own earth. And within this earth is your zero energy center, the zero chakra, which is below your first energy center, your first chakra, about the length of your arm. Focus your intention now on the zero energy center beneath you. Very good. Now focus on the ninth energy center above your head, about the length of your arm above your head. Notice that this quantum sphere above you has a connector down through the tiny opening in your spinal column that extends from 9 to 0. You will breathe your energy directly down, straight down, no spiral, straight down from 9 to 0 on the in-breath, 0 to 9 on the exhale. Begin right now. Breathe in from 9 to 0 as an individual and hold. Release from 0 to 9. Completely release your breath. Breathe in from 9 to 0. Release from 0 to 9. Breathe in from 9 to 0. Release from 0 to 9. Breathe in from 9 to 0. Expanding the ninth energy center completely around you as an individual. Allow that to remain expanded. Release your breath and connect with 0. Allow your breath in 0 to expand around 9. Resume natural breathing and sense what it feels like to have the quantum field surrounding you. Notice within your quantum field surrounding you, there is a network of lines. These form a geometric pattern that creates simultaneously a circle with many triangles in it, all connecting to create a sphere. Within this network of lines, you exist. Now allow your sphere of geometric patterning to expand around the entire circle, encompassing every single person, with Derek in the center. All of your spheres will be connected together in one giant sphere. Here, you will direct your attention to your breath again, allowing yourself to be completely enclosed in this sphere while still circling Derek. As you focus on your natural breathing and calm and quiet your thoughts, focus on one thing, which is blackness. Now focus your energy on your heart center. Now allow the energy of love in your heart center to completely fill this sphere. Focus only on the sensation of love in your heart center. Keep returning to relaxation in your body and love in your heart as you breathe your natural breath. And now begin your heart breath practice in through 6 and 5 to 4. Release, circle back up to 8. Continue this breath. As you continue this breathing, bring your sphere of your own quantum field around you. Gently and slowly, releasing it from the collective space, still seated, facing the center of the circle. Allow 9 and 0 to separate and return to their positions above and below you. Continue the heart breath. Return your energy to your own spaces, noticing your own physical surroundings, the cushion beneath you, and release yourself to natural breathing. When you are ready, please open your eyes and we will accept the next question. The violet purple healers will continue to work with Derek individually during this time. Your question, please.
Thank you. Oneness mentions that when the blue healers said that you instantly and completely heal us and then we go straight back to our past, the next thought was, how could I possibly miss myself being healed? In their meditations, it was explained that the frequency of wholeness that is offered is too far out of phase with the frequency of the recipient. Little or no entrainment to wholeness can happen, hence no obvious healing, though it's always in process. Oneness wants to know, did they get this mostly right? And if you could please expand on this topic.
The answer to this question will be from both our kind, the blue healers, and the Circle of 12 angelic beings who are also in this space. From our perspective, the as you call us, the blue healers, from our perspective, the affliction you are suffering is one of your mind. You are simply trying so very hard, and your earnest striving. We would like to acknowledge you for this experience. However, your need to know and to continue to drill into your brain, your mind, your thinking process is an extreme limitation for any type of healing within yourself whatsoever. Allow yourself to simply not know the answer to this question. This does not mean there is not an answer to this question for somebody. This means that for you specifically, your precision of language and necessity to consistently ask and receive answers to what you have created as a complete complex situation in your mind prevents you from being in your heart. Take a few moments of every day, several times a day, and simply focus on the relaxation of being human and being a human that is healing. There is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing for you to do. There is nothing for you to change. There is nothing for you to know. Everything you want is in the release of tension in your body and your mind. Please wait while we translate. Uh, As the Circle of 12, we would like to speak for ourselves. Our answers are for a general audience, and we are here simply as guides in a collaborative effort with the other healers present to remind all of humanity of the brilliance that you all hold. Your minds, while maybe being something that is super complex on your planet, that allows you as individuals to be greater than the other animals in existence on your planet, it has become a little bit of a limitation for you in terms of releasing the 3D experience and stepping into a 5D experience. You can do both at the same time, as is indicated by the violet healers who are also in this space. Our message is very simple. The guides that you have all around you in your world are seeking to come forward. It is time for you to accept them, even if you cannot see them. Your visual capability in 3D is extremely limited to a very small amount of what could be seen in your world. 3D and 5D exist simultaneously. All dimensions exist simultaneously. While we are speaking to you from the fifth dimension at this time, which is most accessible to you in your human form, we exist in primarily in the 12th dimension, which is why we are called the Circle of 12. In fact, we travel from dimensions to dimensions doing this type of communication, reminding beings of their nature of connectedness. We stand also in your world as a witness to your potential. Tap into us and know that we are here simply in collaboration. We also recommend that you, as a species, collect together in collaboration. You are so busy thinking only about yourselves, thinking only about your personal healing, only about your personal suffering, only about your individual experiences. Know that this is so very limited, it makes you very much the same as every other animal on your planet. Think about survival in the way that any animal on your planet requires to think about its self to survive. What separates you from other animals is the part of your brain that can see you are part of a collective with awareness. This time, this year, will be all about stepping through the doorway from 3D into 5D and back. It is important for you to, this year in your life, to step through that doorway, to step through that doorway and allow yourselves to see the 5D world. The galactic alignment has occurred, allowing the energy of your solar system to push you through very gently that doorway if your intention is to be open to and aware of the fifth dimensional realities. You can see things there. You can feel things there. You can experience things there. It is time for your level of maturity from the juvenile relationship to survival, which is where all of you currently are existing, which is why there is disease, disharmony, and discord on your planet. It is because you live in a juvenile state of individuation, of individual need for focus on the individual self. You need to, at this time, recognize you are part of a collective, and your collective is in a symbiotic relationship with your planet. In doing so, step beyond the individual need or focus for recycling and focus on straws you use and focus on individual things, looking at the collective as not just your personal belief system, but in terms of awareness of the fifth dimension for which you all now have connection. When you tell yourself that you do not, when you fight yourself and say you cannot, when you fight yourself and say you cannot heal, you cannot see things in 5D, you cannot connect to 5D, you are simply in your own way because you are focused on human survival. Human survival is no longer a need for you in your world. You already have mastered and achieved enough as individuals that the collective is now needing to take an important center of focus from individual to many, from many to the entire collective of humanity. But this does not mean that you will not choose wisely individual choices. It simply means that instead of attempting to uh, expand your beliefs and habits to others in a way that will slowly, very, very slowly change the ways your humanity connects into the fifth dimensional reality. Instead, your most powerful tool for you to achieve connection in the fifth dimensional reality is by focusing on your breath, your own coherence, and your own connection to 5D in groups of other humans who have the same capabilities. Look around this room. Look at the names who are in this room. Know that these are the people with whom you will need to connect now. This is our message for you. So, as you are asking your individual questions that feel so very deeply important to you at this time, know that it is when you are able to step outside of your juvenile perspective on individuation, on individual suffering, you will see that in the collective light of 5D of your beings as a group, you will find that healing simply happens, that your planet will move into alignment and coherence, whereby it will have a better or more coherent symbiotic relationship with the host upon which you stand, which is your earth. Our message for you is complete. We will remain in this space for the duration of the call. We will allow the blue beings to continue to speak to you and answer your questions. Please take a moment, however, to understand that we are here simply to send the vibrational frequency to you of the next step in your evolution, which will happen and is happening currently in this year of your time on your planet. We thank you for your existence here in this space, your existence on your planet, and your connection to the collective energies of 5D.
Thank you. We appreciate that you have come forward to help share this information in another way. I know that we all appreciate the repetition because we need it. The next questioner asks, Cindy says, I love and appreciate the breath work you share with us through Jan. During these sessions, I often sense colors like white, gold, pink, yellow, and shapes similar to a tornado. Are there specific colors or more refined shapes that you recommend we bring to mind to help the breath be even more effective?
The collective here thanks you for your question. This is an excellent question, and we appreciate that you are seeking information that will help yourself and help others as well. These breathwork practices have ancient origins on your planet and also origins that are off planet. So, as you practice them and you notice these colors, perhaps shapes that you might see, and the tornado or a spiral effect that you may experience in your body, keep in mind that the colors, of course, you are seeing are entirely of a 3D existence. Notice them, experience them, and allow them to simply be what they are, a color in your awareness. Avoid giving meaning to these colors, such as this is green, therefore it means it is associated with the heart energy center. Instead, allow yourself to feel into the sensation of, without giving it a definition, your color green. What does it mean to you? Does it increase tension somewhere in your body? If so, ask the green to exist as nothing, no color at all, because it is the color itself and the vibrational frequency for which you have attached to that color some reason for you to release. This is where you may incorporate the spiral, where your breath might come in from 8 to 0 in a spiral and release from 0 to 8 in a spiral. Again, it can absorb the color green, releasing it if that color is creating tension in your 3D body. It is time for you as a collective to release tension within your body of any kind simply through these simple breathwork practices. When you are using spiral energy, it is no longer in 3D. You are now using 5D. You might use your 3D perceptions to visualize a spiral. However, it is a 5D experience that allows the energies that are unseen in your world. Anything that is unseen moves from 3D to 5D. So the spiral will draw in energies from the quantum field, energies that allow your tension in your body to be connected to a different vibrational frequency, whereby dissolving the tension in your body with the inward spiral, the external spiral or the exhale spiral from 0 out to 8 and up to 9 is drawing in those energies that have had a chance to mingle between 3D and 5D, taking the old information out from 0 to 8 and from 8 to 9 again. Know that your 3D existence has many components to it. Imagine your DNA strand is perhaps the spiral that comes in. Notice how in your 3D world, your DNA strand is unseen by your eyes without aid. This is your scientific world attempting to connect 3D and 5D in a way that allows your human brain to feel safe in its expression. In this safety, there is embedded in it also a vibrational frequency of survival. Simply knowing that it exists and your DNA strand is far more complex than your scientists can perceive at this time. It may be that they need to take a moment to release their need for 3D existence and experience your DNA strands in a 5D reality. This expansion is happening on your planet. This expansion is happening rapidly on your planet, and the more of you who collect together in spaces such as this one, gathering information but also experiencing 5D reality and all that it may have to hold for your expansion will be the answers to why it is you need so readily to have answers in 3D when your answers are all in 5D. Use this breath work, starting with the heart breath, where you open your heart in coherence to your brain. Allow then to move into the breath with the spiral, where you are moving from 3D existence to 5D connection. When you move to this spiral breath from 8 or 9 to 0 and returning the breath from 0 to 8, your connection into your 3D, 5D reality will allow you to understand one of the groups in this collective 5D group we have here, the purple or violet healers who have come, for that is their current state of existence. They exist both in 3D and 5D. They are here today in 5D. In their world, they also live in 3D. The circle of 12 has no 3D existence. They may be seen by you only in 5D and above. All of these experiences you are having today, you are translating through your 5D faculties. That is such a wonderful way to be. Know too that your 5D existence is translating as well. This is the completion of the answer for this question.
Thank you. We are at the close to the end of our hour. Would you like another question, or shall we move to breathwork?
We shall move to breathwork, the collective of violet, blue, and the circle of 12 are surrounding your 8 energy centers. And we, as a collective, request that you do the spiral breath from 8 to 0 and 0 back to 8. Begin on 3. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in from 8 to 0 in a spiral. And release the breath from 0 back up to 8. Drawing from the collective vibrational frequencies here with you today in 5D, breathe in from 8 to 0 again, allowing the body to be informed of this collective 5D energy. Exhale and release from 0 to 8. Breathe in from 8 to 0. And release from 0 to 8. Breathe in from 8 to 0. Release from 0 to 8. Breathe in from 8 to 0. Release from 0 to 8. Breathe in from 8 to 0. Release from 0 to 8. And one more time. Breathe in from 8 to 0. And release from 0 to 8. Resume your natural breathing and scan your body, noticing any changes. Now, with your intention, feel the space around you where you are seated or standing. Feel the earth beneath you, your seat cushion. Sense into the feeling of the temperature in the room around you. Coming back into your space and your 3D body. When you are ready, please open your eyes. I have given you all the ability to unmute. I have a feeling there is a need for discussion at this time. For those of you who would like to stay with us for the discussion, please do so. Otherwise, sending lots of love to all of you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you again next time. Are
Well,
there
Jan, that was
questions?
fun. My
Well,
apologies about the delay in first question. The
yes, I know. I know.
We'll
We
figure that out.
can,
Jen, thank you so much, dear. We cannot switch on our camera. It says that it's disabled.
yes, you can ask your question.
Jan, that was amazing. What does that feel like to you to have all those voices in your head?
Thank you for asking, Mike. So for me, the experience is interesting. There is a lot of vibrational frequencies, so I find that I need to really focus on my breath and allow the energies to come in. I have experienced these other beings twice now. They came in yesterday and the day before, and asked to be a model for the collective. So when the Circle of 12 arrived, their energy is very angelic, it's very cohesive, it's very bright yellowish white. And when I sense into their energy, it is little like a very, very comforting cloud blanket that surrounds the entire space. And I am not sure if any of you can pick up on that sensation, but that is what they feel like from my end. They look like bright sunlight. So it's their energy is a little warmer. The violet healings or healers, they are purplish violet. They exude that color simply because the color that they show or appear to me in my mind, that is the closest it comes. In fact, they are a species of grays. They look very humanoid. Their eyes have the ability to expand from being basically human shaped to very, very large on their heads when they're healing and pulling back in. When they are speaking, their energy is much more matter of fact than the blue healers. The blue healers have a very open heart sensation in my body. when I am channeling them. Their color is vibrant, bright, almost like a powder blue. That is, if you were to basically light up the powder blue into a lamp, that's what that looks like, the blues. The blues are much more gentle and graceful in their movements, whereas the purple or the violet healers are they move a little more like humans. They each have individual ways of expressing their bodies as they move through a space. They're interesting in that they are bald, so they look very humanoid. They're bald, but they have fewer digits. They don't have five. And they have openings throughout their bodies. So it's as if the energy centers that we have that we cannot see on our bodies, that maybe in Chinese medicine, they exist there. Some of those openings actually are visible. So it looks like they have rows of openings across the head and on their arms, their legs. So their perceptual capabilities are far greater than ours. Um, they also do not wish to have much conversation. They describe themselves with the human term of being a little more scientific. I think the word clinical maybe is a better fit. They're very clinical about the ways they look at healing. They're still working with Derek right now. They asked if they could continue to do that, and I am Derek, you can give us a sign, thumbs up, say yes. If you are not just completely in that space, but they'll continue to work with you. Uh,
Yes.
yes, okay, Derek, for at least a 7-day period. So if you need to communicate with them, just reach out to me and I will translate for you if you need to have communication with them.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I did allow you the ability to start your screens if you would like to do so. And please only remain unmuted while you are speaking. I get a lot of feedback on my end of just crackling noises, cups being set down. So just if you would stay muted while people are asking questions, that would be great. Okay, would anyone care to ask another question?
Yes, I have a question, Jan. I'm
Thank you,
wondering,
Andrea.
yeah, thank you for this opportunity. I'm wondering, when we refer to the quantum versus like 5D or 12D, what is the difference? Like, does quantum encompass all the dimensions or, yeah, like I'd like to know that. Thank you.
Yeah, this is a great question. And remember that they're giving me a massive amount of information, and the time that we have is so limited. So this is a wonderful question to ask because they've already given me the answer to this question. The quantum is basically the source of where all things have begun. So if you were to imagine, and I'm using very human terms for this, uh, so when you all are by the end of the year tapped into 5D and can ask these questions of 5D yourselves, you'll understand what it means to get kind of a full body transmission of understanding that our human faculties are just a little bit limited, particularly language. There are not enough words for however many tens of thousands of words exist in English. I don't know all of them. So they're using my library. And I am an English teacher, so I may have a few more than other people, but that's still not enough. So the quantum is essentially where all things have begun. So our scientists have this wonderful story of the Big Bang theory, and that what happened prior to the Big Bang? Well, it was nothing. So everything emerged out of the quantum, which is nothing, which is the nanosecond prior to the Big Bang, which created the entire universe. It's a wonderful story, and I love that story. I think it is perfect for explaining what this is. So, yes, the dimensions are part of the quantum field. The timelines that we discuss are part of the quantum field. 3D is simply a very, very small part of the quantum field. If you have another question, unmute yourself.
I have a question. They mentioned a door that we actually cross and come back to the 5D. So can you please explain more about that?
Yes, I love this question. Again, same thing. Got this information today as well. I mean, I've heard it several times. So they use stories, imagery, and ways that the human mind can at this stage from the 3D functioning understand that there is a threshold between 3D and 5D. And there's also 4D, which we do not discuss and will not discuss today. Okay, so there is a fourth dimension. There's a reason that we're not discussing it now. It's just too much to say in one few minutes. It's nothing else other than that, is that there is a threshold within the human mind that once you cross over it, there is no return. So once you experience 5D, you will exist in both. So we describe it, or they describe it as a doorway, or a threshold would probably be a better word. So imagine that you're on a train platform and you are on the threshold of stepping into the train. It's a little like Schrodinger's cat, right? You take that first step, you're in the train and you're on the platform at the same time. You say you can get in the train and be on the train, right? And then you're on the train, you're in 5D, but you will exit the train because you, at this point in your existence, cannot ride the train forever. So you'll get back onto a platform somewhere, which is 3D. So if you don't know what Schrodinger's cat is, just Google it at another time. So there's an existence in both, and they're using a language which you can understand. Make it as basic and simple as possible with everything they say. The more we can reduce complexity in our own minds and precision, the need for precision of figuring it out in our own minds, the closer we are to stepping off the platform and onto the train. I love the question. Thank you, Yana. All right, any other questions?
I would like to continue maybe with the previous Jana's question. Isn't it so that during meditations we touch 5D, and I'm quite sure that I've been there. So it means that so since we have been, so we never been, so we are there.
Correct. And the Circle of 12 said that you are already there. It is simply your awareness shifts from 3D to 5D. Right? So you could be sitting in your room having a nice cup of tea by the window, and maybe your awareness is focused out the window. Someone walks in the room. Your awareness may not be on them entirely, but your body will sense they're there. Once your awareness shifts and you focus on the person who's walked into the room, it has expanded your focus from the chair, the cup of tea, and the window to the entire room surrounding that person. So you are literally in a room that is comprised of 3D and 5D. And your awareness is, when you are in meditation, you are focusing less on 3D, your body, focusing more on the breath, which is, we'll say a part of it is 5D, because you're pulling in energy as you breathe, as well as air, which is an element of 3D, which you can see if you change its properties. So your emphasis on your breath, when you are breathing in your meditation, you're focusing in the breath. Your awareness then goes in more into 5D than 3D until you choose again to come back into this realm, because you need to feed yourself, go to work, take care of your kids, whatever the things are that you do in 3D. So you all are, and the Circle of 12 comes to say this, and they'll still repeat themselves, I'm guessing, again and again. They've given the exact same message 3 times in a row. So if it changes, great. But if not, they'll keep telling you again and again, just reminding you, lovingly reminding you that you exist in 3D and 5D at all times. It's just that many of you would like to have the opportunity. What I hear you saying is that many of you would like to have the opportunity to spend a little additional time in a more balanced relationship with 3D and 5D rather than 99.99999% in 3D and that tiny little bit in 5D. You're all aiming for maybe, could we do 50-50? That seems like it'd be fun, right? So your awareness is increasing more and more to that center line of 50-50. And then who knows? Maybe it'll go the other way where you're 99.9999999 time percentage of your time, your timeline in 5D. And then you just come back into 3D and you're like, yeah, I want to do the 3D thing for a change. It'll be like going to Disneyland for a day. You know, jump out of an airplane, ride in a sailboat, do all the fun 3D things just because you can. But be in 5D where that coherence and connection is so complete that you are just love. Again, human word, love, highest vibrational word we have to describe it, but it's so much more. Okay, another question if you have one.
Jan, Jan, is that what they're saying is going to happen this year, that we're going to move more toward the 50%?
Well, the saying that from my understanding, what they were saying, particularly the Circle of 12, is that the threshold, meaning there are a lot more trains coming, and the threshold between the platform and the train is more frequent. So pretty much every direction you turn, you have an opportunity to step into 5D. And the concept of disclosure, which is a word you hear in a lot of circles, if you haven't already heard that, is simply a more a broader awareness for a greater number of people on the planet. This is what disclosure means. It's a very limited human word for a very huge concept of a lot more people will fall off the platform into the train, and a lot more people will deliberately ask for more trains to come through their station. I'm really rolling on the train thing. Just go with it. Does that complete the question? Was that Mike? Okay. Next question.
Yeah, that was me, and that does complete it. Thanks, Jan.
You're welcome, Mike. Yeah, I
Jan,
have
can
so
you hear
many
me
names
well?
on here. I can't see everybody, so I don't know who's talking at any times. Yes, I can hear you. Your next question.
Jan, thank you so much. You're evolving every day. Every time we join and it goes into complete unknown. And you are our enabler for this unknown. So we thank you. Same way we thank you, all the healers, blue healers, violet healers, Circle of 12. You are also, we thank you. My this
Thank
question,
you.
I quite recently discovered the power of water in this divine equitation. Can you say something about it? Because I came to closer to the ocean, and I felt incredible awakening from the ocean and the wisdom and power of water. What is your view and take on this?
Thank you, Sergey Maria. Appreciate you for being here today. And your question is wonderful. So there are elements, and today they did talk about the elements, and it's the first time I've heard that word come through a channeling. Perhaps it has, and I simply don't remember. But the elements on our planet are here to assist us in our increase of awareness. So the element of water. For many of you who understand or know a little bit about astrology or Chinese medicine, the elements really come into those conversations. And notice that when you have those conversations, whether it is astrology, Chinese medicine, or any other modality that brings elements into the conversation, you may have an affinity for one or the other. So, for example, I am a Gemini. I have an affinity for air. A lot of my chart is air and fire. I have an affinity for air. Clearly, it's obvious if you know anything about elements. People could say Jan equals air, and it's just a combination. And I have an affinity for that, meaning I am attracted to it in a way that's involuntary. There's an affinity for me with these elements. However, in my life, I also have had a lack of earth in my world. So grounding for me, using human terms, has always taken a little bit of extra practice. My feet in this moment are on a grounding mat. I use that as a tool. It is required for me so that I don't just completely lift off the planet. In addition to that is water, right? So water has healing properties. If you've ever seen a movie that is a period piece that took place in the 1800s, where do they go to convalesce? The seashore, right? That's where all the sick people go. They go to the ocean. It is a thing, and it is not just a thing for you specifically, it is a thing for many humans if you have an affinity for water in terms of it bringing health to your body. I live on an island in the middle of the ocean for a reason. I deliberately came to Hawaii to heal my body. So, yes, the power of the elements for you specifically could be water, could be for someone else more air, more fire, more ether, more earth. So know that as we begin to expand our sensitivity, our understanding of the unseen world, which there is a component, a huge component of energy in our elements, while we can see them, we are now beginning to expand that awareness to understand how these elements create more open-heartedness and coherence in our bodies. Does that mean you do more? Does that mean you go crazy researching all of them? Not my personal recommendation, but if that's the rabbit hole you want to go down, love the experience of it. I've done millions of rabbit holes. Google is my friend. I'm on it all the time asking really cool questions. So if it increases your awareness to understand and research more, do that and bring it back to the center of the heart, connection and coherence. If you are living in a place, I was in the desert 33 years, needed to acquire a connection to the earth, done. I moved to the ocean. And my experience was purely out of this need for my own heart to expand in love. And I personally, just my own experience, and interpret in yourself how this story changes and resonates within you. My own experience is I have never felt more open-hearted than I have in Hawaii and being surrounded by water. So there is a specialness to the land I live on, a specialness to the Polynesian culture that exists here, the magical way they even managed to get to the most remote island on the planet and exist it makes me tingle a little when I talk about it. So yes, elements of any kind can be healing, expansive. Allow it to be that way for you. Thank you for your question. Any additional questions?
Yeah, and I'll just say you really helped me understand about the grounding aspect. I too have very little earth in my astrology wheel, and you just made a connection for me. So thank you very much. I will get a grounding pad immediately.
If you need a link for that, I'll put it in the group chat in the dimensional talk space.
Wonderful. That's great. Thank you.
Rosa, did I see you unmuted yourself? No? There was another question.
Jen, I had the synchronicity, not a question in this way. First time I heard that angelic circle of 12, they mentioned 12-stranded DNA. We are now, our sister uh, released the book, Activation of 12-stranded DNA, and we are, as a collective, also experience it. It's amazing topic, and I don't know, I know we don't have time for it, but I just wanted to say it's not a question, it's a synchronicity. Yeah? That is happening, that we're going through this now. And it's so incredible that they mentioned it today. I was so happy because that's a part of us. That's back to home, root back to home. Thank you
Yes,
for that. It's just
you're welcome. And I'll say more about the Circle of 12. If you would put the link to that book in the chat so other people can
Yes,
see it. Okay, thank
yes,
you.
I'll put a book. It's incredible.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, additional questions? I feel like I'm just translating information that they've given to me. Uh,
I have another question.
yes,
So they mentioned that when we have a disease or there's something going on, that is actually something in our mind. So actually we have the power to actually like let it go. And for me, it's a big, big question. How do we actually do this?
yes. So this is a really good question, and a lot of people ask for very specific ways of unwinding whatever it is within themselves that creates tension in the physical body. This tension creates disease, difficulty, relationship challenges, inability to manifest. And the mind, the body is the mind. The entire body is the mind. And there is no knowledge that you can acquire or gain that will change the fact that the only way to release the tension in the body is by allowing it to go into the quantum field, by bringing the quantum field more into you. So, for example, you may have an illness or a situation in your body. And when I say you, I mean everyone who's here, anyone who's here. You may have a situation in your body that is illness, that is pain, that is suffering, challenges, difficulties, whatever it is, whether it is the physical body or the mind, meaning your psychology, relationships, etc. Whatever it is that is posing a challenge for you in your body is a habit and pattern that's vibrational frequency has accumulated enough gravity within your cells to create pain. And it is dense, it has become dense. And for some of us, using myself as an example, I had chronic migraines. It was a constant, horrific experience of pain nonstop, 24/7, no relief. And in the creation that I made in myself, creating illness in myself, I was a victim of my own self. I was a victim within myself. And it did cause parts of my body to appear to be broken, whereby the medical community had to intervene. I had to allow that to happen. So for me, my illness was so severe. And let me give you a timeline on this. 1 year ago, this month, I was in the hospital because I was completely blind from migraine. That was how it happened for me. 1 year ago, this month, I did not start healing 100% until June of 2024. Healing can happen and it can happen quickly. And I cannot discount the fact that there were 1,000 little things I did along the way. So it happened slowly and all at once. Okay, so for each of you, there's a story you have around whatever it is you have going on. And you are slowly, little by little, putting a drop of hot water on powdered sugar. A little bit of it dissolves, and a little bit dissolves, and a little bit dissolves. And then all at once, wellness is upon you. So the body is the mind, and the mind is a series of habits and patterns that have collected into disease or discomfort. So along the way, what did I do? Well, I went to every natural physician I could come up with. I took every supplement that everyone recommended. I did everything that everyone on Facebook sent to me, like a teaspoon of baking soda under the tongue should get rid of migraines. It didn't, but I tried, right? I did everything. I tried it all. And I did the from the mundane to the weird, and some of them worked and some of them didn't. But the medication I took gave me enough relief that I could pack my things and move to Hawaii. Living in Hawaii gave me enough relief from the barometric pressure changes, which were severely affecting my condition. Anytime the weather changed, I had a headache, which was all the time. And it gave me enough energy, enough freedom from the physical symptoms to meditate. I couldn't meditate prior to that. I was suffering too much. My body was a prison within which I was the only captive prisoner. So I did all the things, and then I was able to meditate, and then I was able to let go of the medication. Then I was able to let go of some of the therapies. Then I was able to let go of another thing. And then I was able to go to a retreat. When I went to the retreat, I did all the things I normally do, a suitcase full of medical devices and drugs, just in case. I knew where all the medical centers were and how to get there. I had spoken with the hotel, the Maya Riviera, and told them I may need medical attention. I signed up for Coherence Healing. I did all the things, the little things that we do in the human realm that equated to one huge thing in my day at the retreat, which was I met the Blue Healers. From there, it was a constant dialogue for me of healing. And by September, this is from June to September of last year, I was 100% pain and symptom free. And I'm only telling you this story because it's the only one I have to share. Because each of you are suffering in your own way. Each of you have something within you that is a migraine. And it may not be the severity of my situation, but it might be the severity of my situation, or even more severe than what my situation was. Your efforts, and the Circle of 12 said this today, your earnest, heartfelt striving towards your wellness and connection in your heart is enough. It's enough. Harming yourself in trying to be enough or trying to be well enough is going in the opposite direction. Instead, it's about loving yourself in your efforts. I literally would start to take chocolates to the hospital with me and give them out to the nursing and medical staff, saying, I am in horrific, I can't even see you, but I have a box of chocolates I'm going to give to you, because I was so grateful knowing that they would give me an IV infusion. I would be there 4 to 6 hours. They would give me injections and drugs, and that I would leave there pain-free, but completely stoned out of my mind on medication. I was grateful. Hand over the chocolates. Hand over the gratitude, whatever that means to you, to the people who are assisting you in becoming well. The people right in your own universe. I show up everywhere with chocolates. As a matter of fact, I'm going to Arizona and meeting with people. I have an entire suitcase full of chocolates. For those of you who saw me in Cancun, what did I do? I handed you chocolates. I'm grateful to all of you for the experience of being alive. And when I arrived in June with chocolates, I was in pain. I had a migraine. And it was gone within minutes of being in Dr. Joe's presence, because I allowed myself to be in love with myself enough in the moment to let go of my other world in the moment that I was completely pain-free the entire 10 days I was there. And that's just my story. You're all doing enough. You're doing it well enough. You're loved enough by me to love yourselves enough. You're loved enough by the Circle of 12. Their love is so potent that the first time I couldn't even channel their words. I had to have the blue beings translate for them, because I couldn't let their energy that far into my system. It was intense. But the love was so huge that I have forever been changed by that moment of being with them in 5D. And I bring that to you. I bring that energy to you. And when I'm sitting here silent and they're talking and sending, I'm literally saying to my heart, open and send this to all the people who are here. If they can't feel it now, they will feel it in the future. They're going to remember this sensation. They're going to come back around one day in their meditation and say, I remember this feeling, but I don't know where it's from. And it's not about me. It's about you connecting into that. And I can be this person because I am so grateful to all of you that you're here and you're wanting to become well. You're wanting to open your hearts. You're wanting to connect to each other. You're wanting to connect to 5D. You're wanting to have this beautiful experience, and it's in you now. It's in you already. With every breath work you do, whether it's mine or someone else's, you're pulling in an energetic frequency. Whether it's the blue healers, the violet healers, the circle of 12, whatever you're doing, when you breathe in that moment of love, you're showing up for yourself right here. You're doing the breath. Even if your mind is driving you crazy, even if you want to tear your head off and UPS it to the other side of the planet because it's making you crazy with your thoughts, all these things I have to do, don't want to forget. I better Google it now so it's on a Google page so I don't forget. I text it to myself. Those are my strategies. Do it all the time. You're showing up, you're here, you're loving, you're connecting. And I am grateful to you for that. So, whatever specifics I have to give you, you know the answers. The answers are in the question. That's the message I get from all of the 5D beings who come. You ask a question, the first thing they say is lovingly. The answer's in the question. The answer's in your question. But keep asking out loud because you're going to hear it, the answer, eventually. Because it's something that's resonating within you, in your heart, in your world, in your being. And do all the things that come your way. You know, if it's a medication and it resonates with you, allow the resonance to be real. You know the story of the person who asked God to save him, right? When there was a great flood and a helicopter came and he said no. And a boat came and he said, no, God's going to save me. And then he died and he went to heaven and he said, I thought you were going to save me. He's like, I sent you a helicopter and a boat and a rescue team. Why didn't you take it? So be aware that you are being saved at every moment. You are being given information in every moment. The only thing you need to do is to go into your heart and say, does this medication resonate with me? Does this supplement resonate with me? Does this experience resonate with me? Does this meditation resonate with me? How many times have you forced yourself onto a cushion and said, I am doing center of the magnet, come hell or high water, right? And you torture yourself for 2.5 hours or 4 hours or 8 hours. You torture yourself. Why are you torturing yourself? Say instead, well, which meditation's calling to me now? I have many, many options. Go Love feels right for me. 15 minutes. It's what I can manage in the moment. Do it. Or whatever meditation you do. Those are the ones that are in my library. Those are names in my library. Pick what works for you. Maybe it's unexpected. And maybe you need to meditate and just listen to AC/DC or some music that you love. Weird that that band came up in the moment. Don't know why. But maybe it's not what you think it is. Redefine what you think this experience is for you. You can only go on other people's definitions for so long, and then eventually you have to write your own script. You're writing the script of your life every minute from the moment you open your eyes in the morning until the next morning when you open your eyes again, whether you're awake or asleep. You're writing this beautiful script. Step into the heart and say, okay, what am I going to do today? And you know, you got to do the things. Feed your kids. Please don't abandon your children, you know, in the pursuit of something. Feed your kids, but feed your kids with love. Go to work with love. Go to that horrible job you hate with love. Go listen to that coworker complain in the break room with love and say to yourself, wow, if we were in 5D right now, this conversation wouldn't even be happening. Smile inwardly with love. and walk away. Walk away from the things that don't support you in love. But if you got to work and make money, go there and do it with love, which is the reality in the 3D world for all of us. All right. If you have any other questions, now's your time. Otherwise, I'm going to send you all off with love. It's such a pleasure to be here with all of you, wrapping my arms around all of you. I'll see you for sure next week, if not sooner.